Right, welcome ladies and gents. Ubisoft and their Assassin's Creed Shadows game might genuinely be the straw that breaks the camel's back, along with Star Wars Outlaws, of course, because new player sentiment analysis has come out and contradicted the claim by Ubisoft that Assassin's Creed Shadows has a positive community sentiment. Now, bit of a backstory. Ubisoft really needs a win. So, if you didn't know, this might look okay. They are only euros, 13 a share. It's not good for Ubisoft. Now, I think what's important to note is that at one point they were reasonably okay. 1 month, 6 months. Yeah, okay. I mean, it keeps going up and down. Very volatile. Year to date. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, 1 year. Oh. 5 years. Oh. Max. Start to see the picture now, don't you? It's actually really not good for Ubisoft. People are not happy with Ubisoft generally. And they definitely need a win. There's not really any two ways about it. This is not good. Yes, it's been up ever so slightly today. Not quite sure why, in fairness. But yeah, it's up ever so slightly today. But that's still not good. And the amount of money that they've spent on Assassin's Creed Shadows, as well as Star Wars Outlaws, they need these games to be good. Sell fantastically well. So let's take a look and see how it's not looking good for them. So a new player sentiment analysis conducted by Player XP contradicts Ubisoft's claim that Assassin's Creed Shadows has, quote, positive community sentiment. So during the company's Q1 2025 sales conference call in July, an investor from HSBC asked about how pre-orders for both Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows compared to previous Ubisoft releases. Pertinent question, actually. Especially when they're investors. You know, as an investor with Ubisoft, you would want them to track these things. Let everyone know just how well the pre-sales are going. Because it's a good marker. It's a good gauge on whether that game is highly anticipated. People are really looking forward to it. They just can't wait. So they pre-order it. Well, they didn't want to respond to that, did they? We don't disclose nor comment on pre-orders, usually. Well, why wouldn't you? What a weird thing not to disclose or comment on. It's almost as if you've got something to hide. What we can say, what we've been observing and measuring, is that our two big titles, actually, are among the most awaited games of the industry. Well, how do you know that? How? By what metric? How are you measuring this? And they enjoy very strong positive community sentiment overall. How? How are you measuring this? Like, a really good, finite measure, you know, it's very black and white, it's demonstrable truth, is the pre-orders. Because it costs money to do a pre-order. It's not a small amount either. Now, a comparison where pre-orders don't matter is like the Tesla Cybertruck, for instance. You know, because you pre-order for like £1 or something like that. Like $1, I don't know, it's ridiculously low. But a pre-order for a video game is the video game cost. Like, it's very little off the overall price, isn't it? It's a lot of money. So pre-orders is a really good metric to work from, but they don't track that. They don't want to talk about that. You would if they were good. So, Player XP's community sentiment report for Assassin's Creed Shadows disputes this claim. The company found that, quote, the overall sentiment calculated, which represents the voice of the players, is -13. So breaking down player sentiment by social media platform, it had -14 rating on YouTube. I might have something to do with that, as well as other people. Where the majority of interactions came from a -7 rating on X, a +2 rating on TikTok. Fucking TikTokers. If that's ever a sign that TikTokers are brain dead, I don't know what is. and a -55 rating on Facebook, albeit it only factored in 105 interactions. I mean, it's not good. So, furthermore, the analysis detailed many of the big talking points and key words have negative sentiment, including Japan, Ubisoft, Yasuke, and history. Player XP noted, quote, "These all have significant negative sentiment associated with the historical element being the most negative, at -45. Not good. This has been driven by players expressing concerns about the historical accuracy and cultural depiction. Additionally, the character, Yasuke, has received a negative sentiment score of -17 from the player community, aligning with the themes. Players have highlighted inaccuracies related to this character. It is worth noting that the Ubisoft player community is highly engaged, with a record number of interactions in a short date range, and talking points around excitement of the new launch drove positive sentiment plus 34. Still not good overall though, is it? Later in the report, Player XP detailed that one of the primary areas of negative sentiment emerged around the monetization category, notably the monetization topic, is a recurring source of dissatisfaction, as seen in the community's reaction to both Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws. The player community has voiced frustrations about Ubisoft's perceived prioritization of monetization strategies over player experience, a sentiment that is influencing their reception of Assassin's Creed Shadows. The consistent negative feedback regarding monetization strategies suggests that players feel unheard, affecting their overall trust in Ubisoft. Well, that's not a surprise, is it? Ubisoft wants to milk people for all their money, which, you know, when you've got this as a, share price, I mean, fucking, of course you would. It's highly unlikely that Ubisoft already knows that player sentiment around the game is negative. Oh, highly likely, sorry. As Nick Dempsey from Barclays specifically asked Guillemot during the investors call, quote, "When you talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows being the most ambitious, are you hoping for it to be the best selling? At this time, we can say that Assassin's Creed to be among the high sellers of the company so far." Well, that doesn't say anything about Assassin's Creed Shadows, does it? Eurogamer reported in February 2022 that Assassin's Creed Valhalla earned more than $1 billion in revenue by itself. That's good. But that was also the turning point for, well, what most people see as the turning point for Assassin's Creed. You know, they started including, like, female Vikings and things like this, and it was all a bit, you know, they started to tread that fine line where you're like, you're not so good anymore. And Ubisoft's come out and had a few duds here and there, just with their commentary, their PR and stuff. So there you go. Could this be the game that destroys Ubisoft? Maybe. We shall have to wait and see, I guess. It'll be interesting to see, though. Let me know down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Turn the bell notifications on. Find the article link down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.